Good morning, everyone. Thank you for showing up. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go through, for James and Karen, um, the BlueJeans UI, the how-tos of just how the platform of BlueJeans works. So if I can have you guys take your mouse and scroll it to the bottom right-hand corner, you're going to see three icons. One is going to be the invite participants. One is going to be rows, which is the moderator controls. And next to it is a cogwheel, which is the settings. So let's go ahead and select the settings cogwheel icon. And this is going to open up three drop downs. It's going to show your microphone. It's going to show your webcam, and it's going to show your speakers. So if you can actually do it right now, which is select the first one, which is your microphone, and ensure that the correct microphone has been installed or is enabled, sorry. For me, it's my headset, which is the USB headset. The second one is the camera. The camera portion should be not touched. It's automatically detected. But the third one, which is your speakers, you can go ahead and select the drop down. And once again, for me, it's my Logitech headset. So I have my headset selected. For each end user, it's going to be a little bit different. So you should always ensure and instruct your students to make sure that their microphone and their headsets are set to the right equipment. All right, now we're going to get out of here. Now at the bottom of the screen, right next to, I want to say right next to your share screen icon, if you scroll down, you're going to see a little pop-up. No, I don't want to say a pop-up, an icon, which is basically called Enter Full Screen. The Enter Full Screen icon you can go ahead and hit it. It's fine. It's going to basically expand the entire screen, and it's going to hide most of these other icons that you see right now. Sometimes what happens is when you first join the BlueJeans room, you will be thrown into full screen, and sometimes participants kind of freak out. They're like, "Oh my God, I can't see what you guys are seeing." So what I usually tell people is ensure that your full screen, enter full screen, is disabled, meaning you just go ahead, find the icon, and click it once, left click it, and it will exit you from full screen, and you'll have this centralized view. James, are you following the icons?
Yeah, I don't see all I see is expand the screen. Maybe I have a larger screen than you guys.
Yeah, expand the screen versus shrink it. So right now you're in shrink. So now you should be able to see yourself, Karen, and myself at the bottom.
I don't see myself at the bottom.
No, since you're speaking, you won't see yourself. You will see yourself on the top right-hand corner in the box.
Yep, that's what I see.
Yep, perfect. So this view is called constant presence. So let's go ahead and scroll. If you can move your mouses to the bottom and to the left side, you'll see three silhouettes. The first one towards the left is called, just a moment, sorry. Okay, show current speaker only. Towards the bottom left is the silhouettes. The second one is show current speakers and small strip of recent speakers. And the last one is the grid, or as we call it, the Hollywood square. This one is kind of neat because I usually instruct the instructors to go ahead and select the Hollywood square. This way, you will be able to see all of your participants. So meaning the instructor will be visible on the top right-hand corner in that box. And then your students will be in a grid format right in the middle of the screen. This is kind of cool because you get to see all your students. Our instructors kind of like that, and it gives them a more of a traditional classroom setting where you can see everyone.
So let me clarify. Since I am categorized as a student or a participant in this case,
Mm-hmm.
I see myself on the upper right, and I see the two of you guys on the screen. When I switch to when I switch to the two views you're talking about, I can see either just the one person speaking or the speaker, and then so for instance, if I click the middle one, I see you in the big picture and Michelle, or sorry, Karen at the bottom. And then when I do Hollywood Squares, I just see the two of you. So my image never shows up there. Does it look
Correct.
different for you guys?
Nope, that's absolutely correct. So, James, what happens is when you have more than 3 participants, that's when the Hollywood Square feature comes in super handy, because then you're able to see everyone. So, as the speaker yourself, you won't be able to see yourself in those little boxes, because you're already visible on the top right-hand corner. But this feature is super handy for seeing all the participants. In your case, if we go ahead and set you up on BlueJeans to record your lectures, you will be seeing all your students in that Hollywood Square. I always recommend to use that Hollywood Square instead of the other two, because the other two is mainly for if it's a small group like this. This is only 3 of us. We can go ahead and select either one of the first two. So I'm going to go ahead and switch it to show current speaker and a small strip, which is the second one.
So again, let me clarify. This is a case where your screen is slightly different than mine. As a moderator, you have a different view than I do as a participant.
Correct. So when you get set up, James, as a moderator, you're going to be seeing what I am seeing. But right now, I see Karen in the big fold, and if I switch it to show grid of recent speakers, I still see Karen, and there you are. And now I see both of you. So as a moderator, yes, you are going to have a little bit different UI settings, and that's mainly for it's just to control the environment as an instructor. And James, as an instructor, you will be able to go ahead and take your mouse and click all of your participants' mic and or camera to either disable or enable that. So
Nice.
yeah, exactly. So it helps quite a bit. So that is the BlueJeans in itself, just the basic UI. Now I'm going to go ahead and shift over to a more of a feature that I think the instructors use quite a bit, which is called the share screen function. So the share screen function is going to show up right underneath the listed participants. It's a big blue button that says share screen. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. And what's going to happen as a moderator, you're going to have a window that appears, and you will be able, it shows all your applications that you can choose to share with your participants. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and choose to share Firefox web browser. Just give it 1 sec. It takes a second to come up.
Yeah, as I've been turning my cam on and off, I see that it takes several seconds to appear and adjust. But my apologies, I'm actually eating some breakfast, so I have to suffer you guys that.
So you now will see that once your share screen is enabled, a big blue silhouette is going to appear on the portion that you are sharing. Right now, are you both able to see my web browser, which shows Stanford Pre-Collegiate Studies, Online High School, Summer College?
Yes.
Excellent. So this is going to be your eCollege website and login. So I'm now going to shift to showing you and Karen your eCollege pages. So what happens is you're going to go to the website called secure.ecollege.com. And this login feature is going to come up. But prior to this, you're going to be asked, because my cookies are saved, you're going to be asked to log in with your SUNET ID and password. And once that is done, this screen will appear. And then you're going to put in your eCollege user ID and eCollege password, which in James, in your case, it has been emailed out to you. So please do give it a shot once we're done here. So I'm going to go ahead and select Go to Class. And it takes a minute to load because my system is super slow. I apologize.
Nelson, I only see a login in my inbox for Adobe Connect. You say the others were mailed out already?
Yes, the eCollege should have been sent out last Thursday, I believe. But I'm sure if it's not there, Karen can email that information out to you once again.
James, I'll email it to you right now.
There you go.
Thank you.
Alrighty, so this is your eCollege page. This is as soon as you log in, you're going to be put in this. I'm going to scroll my mouse over here to the top left, which is the home PSH.
Sorry, Nelson, I have a student that just walked in.
No worries. So, James, so you will. Are you able to view this home PSH where my mouse is scrolling?
Oh, yeah, I see that.
Okay, so this is going to be your main page. As an instructor, where you would want to go is Academics PSH, which is right next to that home PSH. And select that. I'm going to let it load. And now you're going to come up to your either course list and administrative pages. Since I am an administrator of eCollege, I'm going to have this function, which is the administrative pages. Unfortunately, as an instructor, you will not see this, but you will see your course list. Then you're going to go ahead and select, click here to access the course listings.
I don't find that unfortunate at all. I've been through myself many years ago.
Exactly, right? In my case, once again, since I am a moderator, I have a bunch of courses that I have created or I'm, overseeing. In your case, you will have, let me find your course. It's in the SCA2015 right here in the middle. And I believe your course was called, do you happen to see your course name in there?
Yeah, 1114.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. Social, there we are. We're going to go ahead and select that. And it's now going to, so I've already created all of the courses. I have linked all of the instructors to those courses. So you're basically just going to log in, go to your page, and be able to upload or change how you want your page to look. So I'm going to let it finish loading for a second. Here we go. Now we are in your class. And you're going to have on the left-hand side is going to be your tabs, which are changeable or editable. Sorry. Right now, we're just in the course portion. But if I go ahead and select author, you can actually now add, delete content as you wish. You can add tabs. You can add. You can change around the layouts. So it's quite user-friendly in the editing aspect of things.
Nice. This
letting it load.
This is just like coursework, but it seems a lot more flexible.
So yeah, if you ever need any help, let me know.
Thank you.
So right now you are in your author mode for eCollege. In this mode, you will see you have your course home on the top left, course items, and file manager. File manager is where you can upload, say, your syllabus. You can upload your course material for each week. So, say if you have notes or quizzes or or reviews, you can go ahead and upload those through File Manager. Right here, I'm going to scroll down just a bit. You can do a welcome page. You can design it the way you want. It's you can do it in this format, or if you know HTML, you can go ahead and switch to HTML, whichever you're comfortable with. You are able to go ahead and add audio and video links. This is a course homepage, home tab, sorry. And once you are done, at the bottom right-hand corner is Save Changes. So it will save and then you can upload. And this is for your UI front page. I'm going to go ahead and now switch to course items. Okay. Once again, this is a brand new course, so you're not gonna. It's a pretty blank canvas right now. You can add your units, which is your weekly courses or assignments or review material that you want to have your students have access to. Some instructors go ahead and upload everything for the entire session. Some are very cautious on the fact of they don't want their students to jump too far ahead, so they just do week to week to week. So it's up to you, quite honestly. Right now over here in the existing names, you can actually, if you already uploaded a coursework and you wanted to change its name, you would find it right here in this tab, which is the rename items. And if you if you click the drop down menu, which is the please select, it would show what items you have already in this tab, in the course tab section right here where I'm moving my mouse, and you can select and rename. In your case, you can either add a unit or add items. I usually recommend to do add unit because it's very similar. So I mean, it's whatever you're comfortable with. Any questions thus far?
Nope, it all seems pretty intuitive.
Okay. Next, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to File Manager. File Manager is basically, you can say, your repository. It has everything that you would upload, and you have also the functionality, say your system crashes and you're using a secondary or backup system. This feature is quite neat because you can log into your assigned eCollege page, and you can actually download the files where I'm moving my mouse here, and you can save it onto your backup system. So that way it's never really lost. But once again, this is dependent on if an instructor has already uploaded all of his or her content to eCollege. If you haven't, then I'm sorry to say, you would have to go ahead and create that material one more time.
I got
someone just joined, and I would like to see who it is. And it's Drew from eCollege. Drew, welcome.
Hi.
So
the screen you were sharing just went gray. Is that to be expected?
Yes, because I have switched over to the BlueJeans UI. So I'm going to shift back to that real quick in a moment. But before I do that, James and Karen, I'd like to introduce you to Drew Slaughter. He is our tech guru of all things eCollege. So Drew, welcome. Thank you for showing up. I really appreciate it.
No problem. No problem. Oversold me a little there, but I'm glad to be here.
Wrapped up the BlueJeans portion. I recently started the eCollege, but I'm going to go ahead and have Drew explain the eCollege page, and I'm going to stop the screen sharing for just a moment. And there's Drew. I'm going to go ahead and change the UI to now show as grid, and correct me if I'm wrong, all of you should now be seeing yourself as the active speaker on the top right-hand corner and the participants in the middle of the screen in small boxes.
Yep.
Yes.
Perfect. Drew, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to you. Thank you again
All
for
right.
coming.
All right. I'm going to share my screen. Share entire screen. Okay. Hoping you guys can see everything. What I'm going to do, one of the things I was hoping to do is show you where to go to get into what you're looking at is the admin pages. This is the background that runs. This is how you make changes to Learning Studio and all of your courses. What I did is go in and create a couple of courses so I can play around with them, so I'm not messing around with the live course. So let me get to those. I was hoping to show you the portal and where to go to get in there. Unfortunately, I'm having an issue.
No worries, Drew. I actually went ahead and showed Karen and James the login format,
okay.
So I covered that.
All right, fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and just show them the course then, because that'll be the easiest way to just get started. I'll pop in there and get that set up.
And while Drew brings up that page, Karen and James, your UI is going to be very similar to what I showed you, and because your courses are going to be set up that way, which they already are. This is more of a back-end administrator type of a view, but as soon as Drew gets to the test page, it's going to be exactly what you see on your end.
Okay, hang on a second. Sorry.
I'm like, hey, look, Chinese placement exam. I'm I'm moderating e-Japan, a Korean class, and it's quite interesting for me. I'm like, oh God, I hope you guys don't need these directions in either Japanese or Korean, because I can't help you.
Okay, here you go. This is a shell of a course. So over here on the left-hand nav panel, there isn't anything but a syllabus. As you add units, you'll start to see them appear here, and that's where the students will be actually navigating. So, and up at the top, you have all of your tools that you'll be using to actually do things to the course. Course admin is where you're going to go in and do general types of things, setting up the instructor display. This will list all of the students that are in the course. If you've got groups, you can add the group there. But what I wanted to talk about first and foremost is adding items to the course. So you'll click on author. What author mode does in the courses is gives you access to add course items, edit things, add exams, basically make any changes that you need to the course materials. In order to add a unit, you're going to click on course items, and of course add unit comes up, and also add items. So add unit, it's very self-explanatory. I'm getting a pop-up from something I added for other school, but you can see it'll actually remember things that you've added in the past. And once you've typed in the name, you'll click this box, use title and navigation menu, and it'll show up on the side there. If you're going to have an introduction to the unit, that would be anything that you add as an introduction would show up as soon as they click on the main header for the module. Otherwise, you can just add the subheadings underneath that. It's up to your discretion how you want to add the. So as you can see, Module 1 is now popped up. If I click on that and there was an introduction, it would be in here. You can type in whatever you want, and that's what the students will see. So your next step is...
Drew, real quick, sorry. This is Nelson. I'm sure you're going to touch on this, but James brought up 2 points, which was, One, if our instructors wanted to share content with only certain students, like if say you create a group of students and you want to give them privilege to only seeing, say, group 1 would only see module 1, or group 2 can see module 2. Is there a way to do that? You can touch on this a bit later if you like, but that was one of the questions that James had.
Yeah, I believe that's a possibility. I'll have to get deeper into it when I get to that point. As you can see, content items is your next choice. And from this, you can name whatever the item is. You can upload text, PDF, just about anything that you want to the course. I don't have any dummies to add, but this is where you'll go for all of your content. Reading material, quizzes that you want to, actually quizzes, no, that's a separate one. So this is where you add all of the units. And then your toolbox gives you the ability to make these accessible. So if you want students to start working on them on a given date, you can set the time that they can access it, and you can restrict access before or after those dates.
Oh, that's perfect. The answer to right there.
Yep, that's the one. Perfect. So James, there you go.
So yeah, this gives you the option. If you don't want students getting too far ahead, you can restrict those modules, and they won't actually be able to see them on their screen until that date passes. I don't know how many instructors actually restrict access after a certain date. Once it's available to the students, they tend to leave it there. But if it's something that you don't want them to use after a certain point, you can certainly set that. Now let's go back to course admin. So group management. We'll add the group. This is where you get the members. Let me see. I think.
Drew, can you go back to that module? Because now that you've created a group, options, if they are there, should show up to restrict access to a particular group, and that's all I'm looking for.
Okay, that's general. It's going to affect everybody. You can hide a unit from the students, but I don't know if you can hide it from a specific group. If you click hide from students, none of the students are going to see it. So I'm going to have to do some research on that question and find out exactly what's possible. I know that there are some things you can do with groups that restrict what they can see. So if a group's working on a project and they're working on, you have group projects and they're working on the same material, but you don't want, group 1 to access group 2's work. I believe there are drop boxes that can be set up so that only the group can see, only group members can see the work their group is doing. But let me get do some more research on that and find out exactly what that entails. And what I'll do is email out a short video showing how to do that so that you've got it as a reference.
Great, thank you.
I apologize. That's not something I'm super familiar with, so I'll have to do some follow up on that. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I sent the manual out. The manual is kind of old, so it's not. It might have some different screenshots, but this basically you'll just add the content items one at a time. It's a little bit tedious, but once you've done that, my recommendation would be if you're going to be teaching substantially the same items each term, I would save a master course, and then that can be copied over to create new courses each term, and then you can update the content from that as needed. That way you're not reinventing the wheel each time you have a new term. But this allows you, if you're working with a boilerplate course and you want to add some of your own content, you can do that as well using these tools. Let's see, and I don't know what else you were covering as far as Learning Studio, but what other questions do you have?
James, do you have anything else that in particular?
No, those were some of the basic things I was looking for. I think from here it's just a matter of experience, getting in there and poking around and figuring out what I can and can't do relative to my recent experience, say with coursework.
Exactly.
It seems pretty clear and straightforward, so no worries at all.
Yeah, in the manual you can reference it because even though some of the screenshots look different, it's still got the same material. And over on I should point out on the help screen here, if you click the help link, it'll pull up the screen that you're looking at and details about that. So you can go through every single item, adding content items. Basically, any topic that you have a question on, if you click on that help link, you'll find folders going into detail about how to add those things. So it'll walk you right through it step by step. So you have that resource available as well. And that's on every screen.
Yeah, this is perfect. I do have the manual. Drew did email that out to me. I am just consolidating it a bit. It is 55 pages.
Yeah.
So I'm just doing a quick how to and just narrowing it down to maybe 2 pages. So that will be sent out to you guys. Well, it will be sent to Karen, and Karen can review it and send it out to her instructors.
I do have a question. Since this program is fairly new, if in the future we do have professors who come back, so let's say James created this, next year he's going to reteach this class, since it's a whole year, it's one summer and then the next, will his account still be available? Will his coursework still be there for him to work on?
Yes, it will. We don't get rid of any coursework, any course content unless the school actually asks us to. So it'll the dates to access it may need to be changed for his benefit. So if the term has an access date that ends in, say, May of next year and he comes back in June, we may need to extend the access date so that he can get in there and copy anything that he needs. But the material will still be in our system. So unless we're instructed to delete courses, which we rarely ever do, we strongly discourage that. We'll usually just move them to a term that's not used. So there's always an archive of the materials. So they're there. He just may need to request that they be recovered and copied to a new course in the new term. But if they know he's going to be teaching and he taught a course previously, they'll probably do that anyway when they create the course for him for that term. And the same goes with the user ID. The user ID will stay here until we're instructed to either deactivate it or delete it.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Sure.
And Karen, just to touch on that, I am setting up when I set up the courses, I am extending the date out to something ridiculous, the end date. So the world would end before the courses got anywhere deleted. So no worries.
Nice.
All right. So if we don't have any other specific questions for Drew, thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
I will see you on Thursday.
Yes.
And yeah, thank you once again. Really appreciate it, sir.
You're welcome. No problem. My pleasure. And let me know if there's any follow-up questions. Just email me and I'll get back to you on those.
Absolutely.
All right. Talk to you later.
Have a good one.
All right, you too.
Yeah, we're just going to wait for Drew to, there you go. All righty.
Have a good day, everybody.
Likewise. Thank you, Drew. So we covered BlueJeans. We covered eCollege. Do either of you have any questions or anything you would like for me to review? Once again, open floor right now.
I guess the sort of looming question that I have that you guys may not be able to answer is why so many tools? Is there some philosophy of how these tools are supposed to be used? Or is it just the entire deck of cards, and you may only need one or two for your purposes? Is there some higher level strategy that we need to be aware of?
So I ask this question every day, but for the main reason is we want to it's for the comfort of our instructors. Some of our instructors come in using a certain platform or a certain tool that he or she is comfortable with. So we try to give as much options as possible to benefit their comfort, to benefit their teaching, how easy it is for them to either integrate to the new system and or the existing system that they have used in the past. So it's a good and bad thing. Yes, there's a lot of options. The bad thing, there's too many options. So it's mainly done just for our instructors' comfort, nothing else. Myself and my other tech counterparts here, we have to pretty much familiarize ourselves with all these different platforms. And yeah, I mean, it takes a while, but we do it just for our instructors.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah,
So I'll just treat this like a toolkit. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I think kind of following up with what Nelson is talking about, just kind of seeing the two different platforms that you are able to use, BlueJeans versus Adobe Connect. Like you start to see the similarities, but there's also a lot of differences. Nelson, do you know if BlueJeans allows sharing of documents? Because yesterday, Tomohiro allowed us to download documents on Adobe Connect.
Right. So with BlueJeans, BlueJeans is mainly used for being able to view your participants, in this case your students, recording the content. But if I wanted to share my screen and share it to Adobe Connect, I would be able to do so. So there is a direct link. To answer your direct question, which is, can I download anything like the documents or material from BlueJeans directly? No. You can download the actual video itself, the recording of this course. But if you actually needed to download content or material, you would be using Adobe Connect for that.
Okay.
But yeah, BlueJeans is not. BlueJeans is a conferencing platform and a recording platform, as well as a repository platform. So all the videos and lectures and discussions which are recorded, I can download those. I am able to convert it to MP4 if needed, but at the same time, I'm able to, if you have a student ID, I can email it out to the instructors, and they are able to then share it with their students. What I have done for one of our programs, MSON, is I have created a YouTube channel for them, listed all the courses and all the BlueJeans recordings I have designated to each course for each instructor. So now your students are able to go in, log into YouTube, log into that specific channel that their course is in, and view all the lectures, the discussions, everything. So that way, if a student is sick or could not attend a class because of traveling, given it's summer, they are able to go in and actually view the video or lecture. As far as the material goes, you either get that from eCollege or you get it from Adobe Connect.
I have a sort of question on a separate topic. As you probably have seen when I turned on my webcam, I'm not looking at the webcam or the screen. I use a laptop and a desktop configuration, so with an external keyboard and mouse and monitor. That's not very conducive to teaching because I won't be looking directly at what is ostensibly the student's eyes. Do you recommend I get an external cam and put it in front of my screen, or should I just go back to the small screen for this? Or what's your advice on that as a tech expert?
Definitely invest in a external camera because the environment we want to give. So right now you're looking at the side. You're not looking at the camera itself. What we want to, we're coming up with common practices. And I love cats. Oh my God! So what I would like to do.
One.
She's almost 20 years old, and she's very, very affectionate.
Yeah. So definitely, hey. What we would like for all of our instructors to do is get a secondary camera. So right now I'm on a laptop. I'm in a dual monitor setup. And I have a external camera plugged in and stationed on one of my monitors, so I'm looking right at it. Most of the time, I'm working this way, like you are, James, right now. But at the same time, when I'm in a conference or in a classroom setting, I want that contact, the eye contact. Is just I would want someone to look at me when they're speaking to me. So
yeah, I mean that's my point. Is you got to make eye contact to get that personal connection. Do you have any brands or anything to recommend? We can take this offline. If I don't want to derail the conversation, but I think it's important.
No, definitely. We are wrapping up anyways. I can email out to you the camera that everyone generally uses here at Stanford for SPCS, MSON, OHS, all the departments. We have a set camera, which is the Logitech camera. I have it written down. I'll email that out to Karen, and Karen, you can share it with your instructors and just let them know, like, hey, we recommend you get this mic headset and this camera. So that way it's equal across the board. So if there is an issue and a troubleshooting needs to be done, I can just jump in, or I can show you guys how to do it very easily. Versus, oh, I have Skull Candy, or I have Turtle Beach, or I have some random thing, and I'm like, I don't know, I can do the turtle walk, but
no, I got the headset thing all taken care of, but webcams I just don't do all that often. And just off the cuff, I have to say that Karen's webcam seems better than yours. It could be lighting, it could be a number of other things, but the frame rate and the color quality seems better, and I don't know why that is.
I can tell you exactly why it is. I am sitting right next to a window. The light is hitting this way instead of behind me, and 2, my wall colors are not yellow. They're supposed to be white or off-white. It looks yellow. I know this. It looks delicious, and I'm always hungry, and restaurants always color their walls yellow to induce appetite. So, yeah, it's this window, basically, that's right here. It's bad positioning. But
yeah, my window.
Do you have a window in your office? Okay, yeah, that's it. The light shining straight on your face makes a big difference.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the camera that we're using is the Logitech, but it's the Carl Zeiss lens. So Carl Zeiss is pretty good when it comes to their cameras.
Zeiss lens, that's what I use on my pro camera.
Yep, there you go. I'm usually using GoPros all day because I ride motorcycles, so I'm just gonna leave that as is. Yeah, if you guys don't have any further questions, thank you so much for taking the time, James and Karen. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, Nelson, really appreciate your time. It was informative and helpful to have this experience.
Thank you.
Forward to working with this stuff over the summer.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Anytime. And as always, Karen, myself, we're here for our instructors, and any questions, concerns, issues, Karen, you're more than welcome to share my mobile number. I'm on I'll be at your guys' disposal, or email, whichever works.
Great. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you, James. Thank you, Karen.